News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Monica Ricks. The Justice Department has released thousands of files on Jeffrey Epstein, but some members of Congress are now criticizing the incomplete document dump, saying the Trump administration has not complied with the law. Republican Congressman Tom Burchett of Tennessee says the DOJ just needs to protect the identity of victims, no one else.
I don't care who you embarrass. I really don't. I don't care if it's the King of England or the custodian down at the Sizzler. Bust them all.
The DOJ says more files will be released in the coming weeks as the volume of material was too much to process by Friday's deadline. The Trump administration has launched military strikes in Syria to eliminate ISIS fighters and weapons sites. It's retaliation for an ambush attack that killed 2 U.S. troops and an American interpreter last week. The attacks hit 70 targets, but U.S. officials say more strikes are expected. President Trump delivered an economic speech last night in North Carolina and touted a recent inflation report that was lower than expected.
Remember they said, the tariffs will cause inflation. Just came out with the best inflation report we've had in years. And lots of cash, too.
The president also announced deals with 9 pharmaceutical companies yesterday to help lower drugs for Americans in exchange for a 3-year reprieve from tariffs. Still, a Quinnipiac University poll published this week found that almost 6 in 10 registered voters disapprove of how Trump has handled the economy. Stock in Oracle rallied, ending the week up 6.6% following news of its new U.S. deal with TikTok. Oracle's artificial intelligence infrastructure will be at the center of it, and analysts say that's a huge win for Oracle and TikTok, which will remain operational in the U.S. amid national security concerns. The deal is expected to close next month. Elon Musk's giant pay package has been reinstated. Bloomberg's Charlie Pellett has details.
The Delaware Supreme Court reversed the finding of a judge who said the billionaire had improperly influenced board members who came up with the compensation plan. The High Court concluded the world's richest person is entitled to a stock-based compensation plan now valued at about $140 billion. When Tesla directors first authorized the payout, it was the biggest ever for an American executive. It has since been eclipsed by a separate plan that could be worth $1 trillion if he hits future performance targets. In New York, Charlie Pellett, Bloomberg Radio.
Cocoa prices are headed for a record annual slump, but the cost of chocolate products isn't expected to go down anytime soon. That's because manufacturers are still working through cocoa beans bought at last year's high prices. We won't get cheaper cocoa till next year. Instacart will pay $60 million in fines to settle FTC allegations. They accuse the grocery delivery company of misleading consumers about free delivery claims. DraftKings is out with a new app that will allow consumers to bet on sports and financial events through prediction markets. Here's Bloomberg's Karen Moskow.
The app is called DraftKings Predictions. It supplements the company's current sports betting products, and it underscores the rapid expansion of prediction markets into the legal gray zone between finance and gambling. DraftKings says it plans to later expand from sports and financial contracts into other categories, including culture, entertainment, and crypto. To deal with the regulatory uncertainty, the app is being rolled out in only 38 states, with sports trading allowed in 17 of those. Karen Moskow, Bloomberg Radio.
And Ford is recalling more than 270,000 electric and hybrid vehicles now in the U.S. because of a parking function problem that could lead them to roll away. The recall includes certain F-150 Lightning, Mustang Mach-E, and Maverick vehicles. Federal government workers may be getting an extra long Christmas weekend this year, but it may not apply to every department. Bloomberg's Nathan Hager explains.
The Treasury Department says sales of T-bills and coupons will proceed as scheduled on Christmas Eve and the day after Christmas. That's after President Trump signed an executive order declaring those days federal holidays this year, essentially giving the government a 5-day weekend. The Treasury's announcement should give a little more clarity to financial markets heading into the holiday week. The New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ have already said their trading schedules won't change due to the president's order. In Washington, I'm Nathan Hager, Bloomberg Radio.
Still no motive for last weekend's attack at Brown University and the fatal shooting days later of an MIT professor. But an autopsy of the suspected shooter says he was dead for 2 days before authorities found him at a storage facility in New Hampshire. Claudio Neves Valente was a Portuguese national. He'd been living in the U.S. for decades. And that's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Monica Ricks, and this is Bloomberg.